If I started 2026 with $0, no audience, no connections, no backup plan, I wouldn't panic, I wouldn't scroll endlessly, I wouldn't complain, and I definitely wouldn't pretend I was already successful. I would follow a very specific plan. Not a motivational plan, not a get-rich-quick plan, a realistic one. This is exactly what I would do. Part 1. The first decision. Before doing anything else, I'd make one decision. I would stop measuring progress in money, because when you have $0, money is the worst metric. Instead, I'd measure skills gained, consistency, and leverage created. I'd remind myself of one truth. Money follows value. Value follows skill. Skill follows repetition. So my only job at the start would be to repeat the right actions long enough. Part 2. Choosing the right direction. With $0, I wouldn't try to learn everything. That's how people stay stuck. I'd choose one direction with leverage. For me, that would be audio-based content creation. Why? Because it costs nothing to start. It improves communication, it builds an audience, and it compounds over time. Your voice can become an asset, even if nobody is listening at first, especially then. Part 3. The first 30 days. If this were day 1, here's exactly how I'd approach the first month. No rushing, no pressure, just execution. Week 1, I'd pick one main platform, one topic I can talk about endlessly. One simple goal, show up daily. I wouldn't worry about being unique. I'd worry about being consistent. Week 2. Every single day, I'd do 3 things. Write a short script, record my voice. Listen back and improve one small thing. Not perfection, progress. This is where confidence is built, not before. Week 3. By now, I'd start publishing regularly. No expectations, no obsession with numbers, just proof that I can create even when nobody is watching. That alone puts me ahead of most people. Week 4. I'd review everything. What felt easiest to make? What held my attention the longest? What sounded the most natural? And I'd double down on that. Part 4. Turning nothing into leverage. At this point, something important happens. I now have proof of consistency, proof of effort, proof of skill development. That's leverage, even if nobody else sees it yet. From here, I'd introduce something simple, a small offer. Nothing expensive, nothing complicated. Just something that proves people are willing to exchange value, because the first dollar isn't about money, it's about belief. Part 5. Months 2 to 6. Now the focus shifts, not on growth alone, but on systems. I'd reuse scripts, repurpose ideas, turn one recording into multiple pieces of content. I'd stop asking, how do I go viral? And start asking, how do I make this sustainable? This is where creators separate from hobbyists. Part 6. What I would avoid. With $0, there are traps everywhere. I would not buy expensive courses, fake success. Chase trends I don't understand, compare my Chapter 1 to someone else's Chapter 10. Comparison destroys momentum. Consistency builds it. Part 7. Months 6 to 12. By the end of the year, the goal wouldn't be wealth. It would be momentum. I'd aim to have a recognizable voice, a clear direction, an audience that trusts me, and skills that transfer anywhere. At that point, money becomes a side effect. Opportunities start appearing, not because of luck, but because I built something real. Final thought. If I started 2026 with $0, I wouldn't ask, how do I get rich fast? I'd ask, how do I become valuable long-term? Because money follows, skills, attention, and trust, and starting with nothing, that's not a disadvantage. That's clarity, because when you have nothing to lose, you're free to build everything.